Queen JAFRA Ruby. Agua de perfume.
Hello, my beautiful JAFRA queens. I usually start with JAFRA beauties, but today and this month and all year, I think Miami is going to be queen theme.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So today we have our special guest here. I know that you guys are loving having Mayam special, guest experts to talk about our JAFRA products because they always have really good things to share with everyone. And we hope that everything that we share helps you grow your business with new clients and to maintain your existing clients, your teams, your consultants. So Mayam, today we are going to discover more about our collection, Queen by JAFRA, because now we have two. Like we didn't even talk, Mayam and myself.
We were right here. We were super coordinated. We've got our Queen Ruby over there holding her original queen. You have your original queen, and I'm original queen holding my Queen Ruby. This worked out really nicely.
And I love this because now I haven't worn perfume today because today I'm getting my Queen Ruby. And I want to do the layering fragrance. So I want to see how that goes. So I'll let you guys know in the comments. But Mayam, take it away. Talk to us about this beautiful perfume that I hope everyone has the collection at home.
Yes, absolutely. So before we start, I just want to say congratulations. We had an incredible VIP pre-sale for Queen Ruby. We sold out in like a day and a half. It was absolutely bananas. But more than that, this Queen franchise has actually become the #1 women's franchise that we've had so far. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I just wanted to say congratulations to all my JAFRA queens and my kings out there that have been selling the heck out of this fragrance because it is truly, truly incredible. But Moni and I decided to do our training today because on Sunday, it's International Women's Day. So we wanted to kind of kick off the weekend, end our week, and walk into Women's Weekend, Women's Month, Women's Day, feeling empowered, feeling powerful, feeling unstoppable, feeling like queens. So this is a great gift for all my kings out there that are celebrating your queens, whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, your partner, your daughters, your sisters, your nieces, your friends. Every woman should feel like an absolute queen on Sunday and every day, but Sunday particularly. So make sure you guys have your queen collection to celebrate this special day. But let's talk a little bit more about Queen Ruby, Queen Original, and everything that these fragrances are about, who they're for, what they smell like, how to sell, all the good things. So Queen by JAFRA, I absolutely love this photo here. If you guys remember, in March of 2024, we launched Original, and the cover was stunning. It was just the solitary queen on the chessboard, which I thought was super, super powerful. And now we've added her sister, her fiery ruby sister, next to her. So let's talk a little bit about what it is to be queen in the fragrance sense of the word. So be powerful, be unstoppable, be a queen, which is the tagline of the entire franchise. So not just Queen Ruby or Queen Original. This is the tagline for all of the queens to come because there is more to come, I promise. And something that I love, which I think is a really nice touch, this tagline is also on your box of both of your queens. And the box is really elegant as well. Like it's nice, it's got like a nice texture to it. It's got the ruby on top. I think the innovation team did an absolutely incredible job with this launch. And so on the side of the box, you have that, what Queen Ruby is all about, and this mantra of what it is to be a queen here. So Queen by JAFRA is more than a fragrance. It is a statement. It is a celebration of women who lead with presence and with confidence. And the franchise pays tributes to the inner richness of every woman. Each woman is a unique jewel. She is valuable, she is strong, and she is radiant. So this is something that we want you guys all to feel, not only today or on Women's Day on Sunday, but every day of the year, every day of your lives. You guys are queens. We're all queens. You wake up every morning, we put our crowns on to do all of our tasks, from the most mundane all the way up to the most extraordinary. We should always feel like we are powerful, unstoppable, and queen-like in everything that we do. And that is what these fragrances encapsulate. So why queen? Why choose this franchise? Why participate in with these fragrances? So this brand honors strength, visibility, and leadership. It is a fragrance story rooted in identity, not trends. So a queen she is classic. She is an icon. She is not not necessarily a trendy girl. She is just a very not modern, that would not be the right word, but she's a classic sort of icon in her own right. This franchise also celebrates women who own their power unapologetically, and it is designed for women who do not negotiate their authority. They are ambitious, they are visible, and they are brave. So they are just in your face, but not in an obnoxious way, in a way that is just really powerful and really strong. And she is an absolute leader. So let's talk a little bit about the fragrance of and the essence of Queen Original. So this fragrance embodies power and femininity in balance. A lot of times people talk about being powerful as an adjacent to being feminine, and I think that's absolutely not true. There's so many powerful women that still maintain, the quintessential sense of what it is to be feminine, right? They're they're glam. They like to get, they like to be dressed up. They like all the things. And so these two things they coexist together amongst this fragrance. It's leadership expressed through presence. So just standing in a room alone just gives you the power. It gives you the leadership. This queen doesn't necessarily need to be outspoken. She doesn't need to be loud. She doesn't need to be in the center of attention, because just her presence alone allows her to be in the spotlight. And it is confidence worn with intention. So that is the ultimate essence of what Queen Original is all about. And who is the persona? Who is the woman that wears this? So she is the archetype of what we call the ruler, right? So she commands respect without asking. She sets her own rules, and she leads with elegance and certainty. So this is a more traditional queen in that sense, right? You think of like a Queen Elizabeth, who was very modern, but she was very stoic. She was very in command. She did her own thing by setting her own rules, but she also led with a classic elegance and a certainty that this sort of fragrance embodies. So ultimately, this is the original queen, right? She manifests her power. So if you have be powerful, be unstoppable, be a queen, then you have these like sort of subtext underneath each fragrance where Queen Original is manifesting your power. So she is very, very powerful. So she launched in March of 2025 as our first expression of queen. She introduced this overall queen archetype into our world of JAFRA. It is a bold, commanding fragrance with undeniable presence, which really speaks to, again, this whole thing of just being a leader in your own right. You don't need to be boisterous. You don't need to be loud. You can just be yourself in your natural state, and you will still be noticed. You will still be the queen in the room. And that fragrance embodies this. And then, as I said earlier, it is our #1 fragrance in 2025 from only 10 months of sales. So that means that this fragrance in 10 months outsold our icons like a pastel, like an Adoris, like diamonds, like some of the blossoms. So this in only 10 months became our #1. So she became really our queen, right? Our crown jewel in our fragrance portfolio. So that is absolutely a testament to how powerful the fragrance is, how wonderful it smells. And I think also the storytelling, because it really embodies a great message here that I think everyone in JAFRA, not only our women in JAFRA, but even our men can relate to in a sense. So the scent experience, we talked a little bit about who Queen is for, the persona behind it, the idea behind the fragrance. So now obviously it's a fragrance, the scent matters. So this is a tribute again to feminine strength crafted with what we call scent sense technology. This is not a JAFRA made up term. This is actually a term that comes from the fragrance houses, which allows you to have a sort of sense experience when you're experiencing the fragrance. So it surrounds you in an aura of unstoppable confidence, reflecting the lasting impact women leave on the world. So I think something that's great is this theme of unstoppable. We started the year unstoppable. We're in our unstoppable 70th year. We had our dreamer and determined fragrances that kicked off our year, and now we're walking into our queen era. Still feeling unstoppable, still feeling confident, still feeling powerful. So I think that's overall the mantra of the year. So how does it smell? So she opens with a glossy cherry, which is very juicy and vibrant and slightly sweet. So Queen Original actually is going to have this sort of sweet theme throughout the top, middle, and bottom notes, which is a little bit different than how the way Queen Ruby is, but we'll talk about that in a second. So it automatically sparks bold femininity because it's sweet, but it's a little bit alluring and it's vibrant, and that's how it opens up. The middle comes in with a hazelnut, which is really creamy and warm, and that adds a little bit of a rich, addictive, sort of indulgent feel, but still sort of on that sweet scent, right? So you have a juicy, sort of fresh sweetness, and then it comes in with this sort of warm, sensual, familiar warmth with the nutmeg in the middle. And then finally it settles out with a tonka, which again, still sweet, but it's more on the sensual side. It's warm, it's slightly confidently magnetic. So the theme overall is a very sweet, but I think a striking sweet. It's not like, it doesn't smell like sugar. It smells indulgent, it smells vibrant, it smells juicy, and then ultimately kind of ends out with this sort of sensual finish of the tonka, which I absolutely love. So that is Queen Original. So now let's talk a little bit about our newest addition. I'm making her like the fiery little sister. So if you have the oldest, the firstborn daughter, she is very stoic. She is the leader. She knows everything. And then here comes little sister, fiery, passionate, still a queen in her own right, but definitely a little bit different. So if Queen Original is manifest your power, Queen Ruby is manifesting your passion. So she is the newest expression of Queen. She builds on the original legacy by revealing a more passionate, radiant side of what powerful means. So if Original is stoic, think of Queen Ruby as passion. A little bit opposite, but still maintaining themselves as leaders, as queens, as regal women. So it is obviously inspired by the ruby gemstone, which is a symbol of passion, vitality, and inner fire. And it is power expressed through magnetism and confidence. So confidence obviously is still the theme. Being a queen is still the theme. Being a leader is still a theme. But the big differences here are Ruby is passion, where Queen Original is more stoic. She is more classic, I guess, to not be able to find a different word. But I think of it more like the oldest, the firstborn daughter, and then her fiery younger sister that comes in and it's just like, we're breaking the rules, we're doing it with passion. She's fighting for her older sister, she's doing all the things. So that is Queen Ruby in and of itself, of what she is all about. So then the scent experience here. So she opens with a really beautiful blood orange, and it's vibrant, it's energy filling, an energy filled opening. So any sort of citrus automatically kind of opens your senses up. It is really refreshing. It is a lot of energy. You put a lot of citrus notes into things that you want to bring energy out of. So she opens really energetic from the beginning, where her counterpart, her sister, opened sweet and indulgent and sort of juicy and like almost mysterious. She opens right away, very vibrant and very full of energy. Then she comes in with a juicy peony, a vibrant red fruit, and a succulent vanilla, which is what we're calling a ruby accord. So now she's got that same sort of sweetness, because if you remember, we had like a tonka bean, which is a vanilla bean sort of at the end of Queen Ruby, but that comes in at the center here of, or I'm sorry, at the end of Queen Original. The tonka succulent vanilla comes in the center of Queen Ruby. And then finally, she finishes out more on the warmth of a cedar wood, which is very decisive, and it kind of gives this like very luminous aura. So same, but different. They've got a lot of the same sort of characteristics, but they are very individual. So again, Queen Ruby is sensual, or Queen Original is sensual, and she's sweet sort of throughout it. Queen Ruby opens fiery, energy filled, vibrant with that blood orange, and then that sweetness comes in right in the middle, but it finishes out a little bit deeper, a little bit more robust with that cedar wood, which I absolutely love. And Monty talked a lot about scent layering, and I think that these two would complement each other so perfectly, because again, you've got a really sweet and inviting original that you can start your day out with. I think should be perfect for like your business meetings and anything you want to conquer during the day. And then when you go out and you want to be fun and laugh and passionate and do all the fun things at nighttime or in the early evenings with your partners, your friends, your coworkers, I think throwing on a little bit of Queen Ruby would be absolutely perfect to round out your day of queendom. So ultimately, the two queens, what are they and how do they work? So original, authority, commanding, original queen energy. By no means is she boring. By no means is she mean. She is just a little bit more stoic. I'm telling you, I love this analogy of the two sisters. The oldest, the firstborn, she's very commanding. She knows who she is. She's very, regimented in a state. And then here comes little sister, passion, magnetism, inner fire. She is passionate. She is in your face. She's vibrant from the beginning. But ultimately, they work beautifully together to make these sort of ends of the pendulum, but very, very, there's a lot of synthesis there between the two of them. So how do we share Queen? We talked about the personalities of both, the personas of both, That way both of them smell. So now the most important, how do we share Queen? How do we get the sales out there? How do we keep growing on this #1 legacy that we've already created and keep it going with Ruby? So who is this for? These are a couple ideas. Obviously, there's so many more ways to go about this, but these are just sort of some things that we've worked out here at home office to how to share Queen. First of all, it is a fragrance wardrobe for powerful women. I mean, I think that's sort of a duh, like a no-brainer. But it is really great to be able to say, you know what, we have a fragrance that honors women, that we launch for International Women's Day, which is a great introduction to just honoring the powerful women in your life and in everybody's life. It's also perfect for self-gifting and for milestones. I think a lot of the times, us as women, we forget about ourselves. We're always very selfless. We're thinking about others, our loved ones, our families, our partners, our dogs, our kids, all the things. And we sort of sometimes forget to celebrate ourselves. And I think these fragrances allow for a moment to self-reflect and to self-gift, because all of our achievements are important. Doesn't matter, it could be the smallest thing. I think when I gave the VIP training about this, I talked about, you could celebrate getting your first 100 likes on Instagram, or your first 100 followers on Instagram, and then go all the way up to, getting that big paycheck that you wanted, or getting the big, buying a home, or whatever it is that you have milestone wise. It's super important to celebrate yourself, even if for the little things. So these fragrances are perfect to be able to show yourself, love you, Queen, got your back. And then ultimately, we have two sides of the coin here. So a really easy and sort of a no-brainer way of selling these to a person would just to be, what kind of queen are you today? What are you feeling today? Are you feeling more powerful, commanding, or are you feeling a little bit more passionate and fiery? Or do you want both? I mean, a lot of us are both, right? We have dualities. The whole double nature line speaks to that. I mean, we kicked off the year talking about being a dreamer and being determined. We can also be the very stoic, commanding leader queen, while also being fiery and passionate, and being the Ruby queen as well. So asking just directly, what kind of queen are you today? What are you feeling today? Or who are you in the long run? Ultimately, I think both of these work very well in someone's wardrobe, not only from an olfactive perspective, but also from a personality perspective, because we're all passionate, we're all fiery, but we also know how to be a little bit more serious and get it done. And that's what these two scents really symbolize. So don't just talk about Queen, wear her, order her today, demo this week, sell all month, and really sell all year. I know that we've got International Women's Day on Sunday, and March overall is, International Women's Month. But these fragrances, like we talked about, can be worn and sold all year round, because we should always be honoring ourselves as queens every single day of the year, every single day of the week, 365, 7 days. So these are perfect for all sorts of occasions. And that is all that I have for you guys today. I'm really, really excited and happy to be here to share with you guys, to talk with you all. Moni, I don't know if we have any questions in the chat, or any comments, or anything that we can answer here while we're together.
We don't have questions. We do have Gail here with us, Patricia. I don't know who else is here with us, but if you guys are catching the replay, if there's any questions for Mayam, drop them in the chat. Let us know which queen are you today. Like I said at the beginning, I haven't worn any fragrance because I really want to do a short reel of doing my layering fragrance with both and see what the results are.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I want to see you guys with your queens on Sunday. If you haven't received it yet, or if you've already purchased it, take pictures, celebrate yourselves on Sunday, all day. But Sunday is really our day, right? Celebrate yourselves all weekend. This is our weekend. Let's celebrate being women and our power, and in our emotions and all the things. So I really hope that this fragrance, you guys love it as much as I do, because I think this was a really great next step into this queen franchise. And as we already see, it's very, very successful. So any other questions, leave them with Moni. She'll pass them on to me and we'll get them answered. So, but until then, I guess, thank you guys so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Mayam, and thank you, JAFRA Queens. See you guys soon.
Queen, JAFRA, Ruby. Agua de perfume.